Chapter 1 of Captain Antifer by Jules Verne. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recorded by Joe Denoia, Somerset, New Jersey. Captain Antifer by Jules Verne. Chapter 1. It is September 9th, 1831. The captain left his cabin at 6 o'clock. The sun is rising, or to speak more exactly, its light is illuminating the lower clouds in the east, for its disk is still below the horizon. A long, luminous effluence plays over the surface of the sea, which is broken into gentle waves by the morning breeze. After a calm night there is every promise of a fine day, one of those September days in which the temperate zone occasionally rejoices at the decline of the hot season. The captain rests against the skylight of the poop, places the telescope in his right eye, and sweeps the horizon. Lowering the telescope, he approaches the man at the wheel, a gray-bearded, keen-sighted old man, who blinks as he looks at him. "When did you come on duty?" "At 4 o'clock, sir." The two men speak a language that no European would understand unless he had sailed in the Levant. It is a dialect of Turkish and Syriac. "Nothing new?" "Nothing, sir." "And you have sighted no ship since the morning?" "Only one, a large three-master, which would have crossed us on the opposite tack, and I left a point so as to leave her as far off as possible." "You did well. And now?" The captain looked searchingly round the horizon. "Ready about," he shouted loudly. The men on watch ran to their stations. The helm was put down, the sheets were shortened in, the ship came up in the wind and went off on the opposite tack toward the northwest. She was a brigantine of 400 tons, a merchant vessel used as a yacht. The captain had under his orders a mate and 15 men, whose jacket and cap and wide trousers and sea boots were those of the mariners of Eastern Europe. There was no name on the brigantine, either under the counter or the bow. There was no flag. To avoid any salute, the brigantine changed her course whenever the lookout reported a sail in sight. Was she then a pirate? For pirates were not unknown in those days in these parts, which feared pursuit. No. A search for arms on board would have been in vain, and it was not with so small a crew that a vessel would run the risk of so dangerous a trade. Was she a smuggler working along the coast or from one island to another? By no means. The keenest custom-house officer might have gone down into her hold, overhauled her cargo, dived into her packages, ransacked her cases, without discovering any dutiable merchandise. To tell the truth, she had no cargo at all. She carried provisions for several years in her hold, and in the lazarette there were 3 oak casks, strongly hooped with iron. The rest was mere ballast, heavy ballast, to enable her to carry so large a spread of canvas. Perhaps you may think that these 3 barrels contained powder or some other explosive. Evidently not, for none of the indispensable precautions were taken in entering the storeroom in which they were kept. Besides, not one of the sailors could have given you any information on the subject, neither on the brigantine's destination, nor on the motives which made her change her course whenever a ship appeared in sight, nor on the goings to and fro during the 15 months she had been at sea, nor even of her position at the present moment, sometimes under full sail, sometimes under hardly any at all, sometimes on an inland sea, sometimes on a boundless ocean. During this inexplicable voyage, what high lands had been sighted which the captain had immediately steered away from? What islands had been discovered which the helm at once had shifted to avoid? Looking at the logbook, you would have found the strangest changes of course, which neither the caprices of the wind nor the appearances of the sky would possibly explain. That was a secret between the captain, a grizzly man of 46, and a personage of lofty mien, who at the moment appeared at the companion. "Nothing?" he asked. "Nothing, Your Excellency," was the reply. A shrug of the shoulders betraying some annoyance terminated this conversation of 4 words. Then the personage went down the steps and regained his cabin. There he stretched himself on a couch and abandoned himself to a kind of torpor. He could not have been more motionless if sleep had taken possession of him, and yet he was not asleep. He seemed to be under the influence of some fixed idea. He might be 50 years old. His tall stature, his powerful head, his abundant hair with the gray showing in it, his large beard spread over his chest, his black eyes and their keen glances, his proud but evidently gloomy physiognomy, the dignity of his bearing, indicated a man of noble birth.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?